What up? 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 What's good, people? What is up? What is up?
Lush.
Uh, 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 uh.
Ooh, I can't wait till the weekend.
I should go outside this weekend. Everybody and their mama gonna be here, but it's supposed to be like 19 degrees on Sunday night and Monday.
My
19 degrees.
Well, my birthday is Monday, so I have to be outside Monday.
What are we doing for your birthday?
I'm going to a steakhouse for dinner, and then I'll go out with some friends.
I hope not with that person you call your boo. Just like just let me know when I'm gonna have to fight whoever this is, because the fact that you have not stuck your penis inside of my rectum. Oh shit. Oh. Oh.
You,
Wow. Yeah, I probably should have paid attention to that. Hello, everyone. This is exactly why we can't have nice things. So,
already demonetized.
mm, mm,
Not even 2 minutes in. This is a record for you. Congratulations.
mess. Yeah, y'all. We are live. We are here. This app, or this platform is different because while the intro is playing, we can actually talk to each other backstage while the intro is playing, and y'all can't really hear us. And so, yeah, we got caught up in some stuff.
I didn't get caught up. You got caught up.
Don't do me. I mean, you can do me, but don't do me like that.
Mm.
Do not do me, as I'll be forced to do you harder.
Okay, power bottom.
I'm not a power bottom.
I'm sorry. Side. I apologize.
I'm damn sure not a side. Anyway, hey everybody, we are here for episode 16 of Red, Blue, and Black.
Black.
Cha.
They heard you being up and good. Yeah. I'm the innocent party here. I'm gonna
They
have to
say they heard us backstage.
No, I'm gonna have to go to HR on you because this is sexual harassment at the job.
You be harassing me,
You want me to harass you.
maybe, and you want to harass me.
I don't want to do anything but get this money and stay warm at this point.
Anyway, y'all, we here for episode 16. We got some shit to talk about. How y'all doing today? Kamz decided to grace us with his presence, and so we are here.
Don't
Thank
do
you,
that.
sir.
Don't do that. You've been
You're welcome.
traveling. You've been gone.
Sir, please don't do me, as I'll be forced to do you harder. I keep telling you that.
The only time I was unable to assist with this was when I was in Canada for work.
Is this
That
what
was
these
last
are the
month.
lies that we're gonna tell?
That was last month. I was in Canada last month.
Anyway, y'all, we have some news today. In today's episode of Red, Blue, and Black, what do we have to talk about? We have the Hegseth confirmation hearing, that debacle. We have the release of the Jack Smith report. We have some Supreme Court cases that they've decided to take up, whose verdicts could be of consequence to all of America. And we have some things to talk about with the California wildfires. Should be an interesting show. I will be the level-headed one. That young man over there, he's gonna be spiking out.
Ain't nothing young about me.
That young man right there, he's gonna spike out a few times.
Yeah, okay.
Just a few.
If you're not spiking out, you're not paying attention. That's how I
Well,
feel.
then there's that. Anyway, um, anything you want to tell the people before we dive right in?
I've missed you
I'm
all.
ready to dive in it.
You're not in Colombia right now. I need you to chill.
Is that going to be your going joke every all the time?
I might tell a joke, but I'll never tell a lie.
There was no diving in any parts of this.
More like plunging. But I've missed you all. So excited to be here on this platform. Thank you so much for inviting me up, El Teddy. I'll turn it back over to you.
Let's dive right in. Hey everybody, we're gonna dive right in. The Hegseth top story of the day. Listen, Tracy said she in the middle of a
Hey,
power outage. Tracy,
Tracy.
I'm ready. We here for it, Tracy. We right here, right here.
And what are you drinking on tonight?
We got some.
Oh, the botanist. Oh, it's a special kind of night.
Along with
night.
to chase it, the Welch's peach medley juice cocktail.
Okay. It's a botanist.
Anyway,
I like that. All right, bougie gin.
so Pete Hegseth sat in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee today for his confirmation hearings. It was a complete and utter debacle.
Yes.
Let's start with the fact that let's give some backstory. When his nomination was announced, as opposed to him doing as every other nominee for DefSec, who has to go and sit in the office of every senator on this committee for questioning, he decided he was only going to sit before Republican senators, making no attempts to answer any questioning before this hearing or meet with any Democratic senators. The first time this has happened. In another move to disenfranchise the Democratic senators, the chair, what's that young man's name? What's his name?
Of the Senate Armed Services Committee?
Yeah, hit the chair.
Wicker.
Wicker, thank you.
Yeah.
When the Dems asked Could we have another round of questioning? Because this would be the first time that they've had a chance to ask him any questions since he decided not to meet with any of them prior to this meeting. Wicker said, "Hell nah, bitch. Ain't none of that shit going on. Y'all got one round of questions, 7 minutes. Get over it."
Mind you, now, Senator Wicker is representing the powerhouse state of Mississippi.
Right. That should
Can't
be noted.
can't even do the best for your state. So I doubt that you're able to do it for your country. So I'm not shocked by that. But like you mentioned, it was very unusual. But as we've seen, the last first time that person was in office, that we threw norms out of the window. There are no rules. We just do what we want. We go and govern off vibes. So I'm not shocked, but I'm shocked that someone who's woefully unqualified was put forward and has not resigned yet. Like, he hasn't withdrew himself from consideration. So I don't know if he's very self-aware.
Oh, he's very self-aware because
He's not.
hell, the person who nominated him is not qualified. So why the hell would he be qualified?
But
But
what are the
I'll
qualifications
let
for
you take it
president,
from there.
though? What are the qualifications for president? The age requirement?
And that you be a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, a non-naturalized citizen. Yeah. There's the barest of minimum qualifications there. But I'd say that it's interesting because the Republicans are hyping Hexas up like he's unique in his experience. When, just shocker, the last two secretaries of defense were generals. Just gonna throw that out there. The last two that we've had that were confirmed not acting were both generals. They're
We
qualified.
also have had under Obama a DefSec that was an enlisted member, not even an
Yep,
officer,
Secretary
enlisted
Hagel.
and was in combat.
Yep, he was E5 Army.
So what the he all day today we want people with dust on their boots. Wasn't that the comment, dust on their boots and stuff like that?
And no disrespect to Hegseth's service, but I don't want to hear that as you're a former Army National Guard guy. I have a combat deployment under my belt. I have more qualifications to lead the Department of Defense than he does, but I think that the Democrats brought up some very valid points, and I think really questioning, you've never led a large organization. At least when we're looking at these former generals, they're leading tens of thousands of service members. They're already used to, they have command time over large groups of people. This dude was a commentator on Fox. Like, what does that do?
I'm not military, so some of the lingo and language was beyond me, but there was the name of the document, the military codes,
UCMJ, the Uniform
UCMJ.
Code of Military Justice. That
Yeah,
it's also not uniform, if we're gonna talk about that.
uniform code. He was asked whether or not he would commit to not pushing to change that. He would not commit to doing that. He also kept wiping his ass with the Geneva Convention and the codes from the Geneva Convention, saying that they were outdated and should not be applied when sending someone into combat. He, basically calling them antiquated, lied and said that he did a stint down at Guantanamo, but never witnessed torture. Although he's on record saying he's seen waterboarding and is for waterboarding.
Waterboarding. Yep.
And he also, the most dangerous thing is, would not commit to telling the president that he could not have troops violate the Constitution or do illegal things. Specifically asked about when President Trump, during his administration, asked his Secretary of Defense to have them shoot with Air Force fighter jets Black Lives Matter protesters, then asking National Guardsmen and enlisted service members who they put in Washington, D.C., to shoot Black Lives Matter protesters in the legs. And that defense secretary said, no, I'm not going to do that. Hegseth, who claims that he was there and one of the people that was assaulted in peaceful protest, mind you, that he could that he understood that and would not commit to telling Donald Trump that he would not have active duty servicemen assault, shoot, violate, or commit acts of violence against U.S. citizens, which is directly in violation of the Constitution. Meaning, if Donald Trump dreams it up, his word is absolutely, let's go ahead and do that. And that's some dangerous ass shit.
I think that
But if we're in the business of doing that, I want y'all to have that same energy because wasn't that a protest that we had on January 6th? Oh, I'm sorry. That was a regular day down to the Capitol. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
they just had a brunch. But I think the points that you're making, how he doesn't want to commit to saying that they would not mobilize the military in that way, right? I think we need to look at why that is so uncomfortable. At its core, our military is civilian led. The president is a civilian. We don't have the military running our country. That is the case for some authoritarian governments around the world, but that's not us. We don't have a military junta like that just runs everything, right? So to me, the last two were like, I mean, I'm kind of uncomfortable with this, but at least I know that a general is super educated and they're very principled. They know what a lawful order is, what a lawful order is not. This guy, yeah, I think he's just kissing the ring. And I think that when we look at civilian matters, we already have issues with police and black people. Let's just be quite frank. Police and black people, not a good relationship, right? But when you have the military that's out there doing the job of police, American citizens then become enemies of the government. And I think that is a very frightening and a very scary thing.
Another thing that bothered me was um and I believe it was Senator Sheehan. It was either her or Gillibrand, Senator Gillibrand, that introduced at the committee this email that was sent to a current uh, um, high ranking officer at the Pentagon, basically saying that because you're a Democrat, count your fucking days. Saying, yep, count your fucking days. Basically threatening members of the United States military simply because of whatever political leanings that they have, saying, if you're not aligned politically with us, then you're going to be fired.
Yeah,
And
and
I
then
don't
sum
think
this
some
up with what they're already doing in other government agencies now. I have firsthand knowledge of my friends. There are some campaigns internally at some of these agencies where they are asking people who they voted for. And when you look at them doing a potential RIF, a reduction in force, because
Mhm.
clearly government employees are the issue. When you look at it from the Republican, POV, where really it's not even that. They just want to lay off government workers because they have too good of protections, and then they want to put the contractors of the companies that got them elected to get them the contracts. Like that's what it is. It's always more expensive to let a contractor do it than a duly paid government employee. I speak as a government employee. We weren't allowed to be political. You couldn't go around asking people who they voted for. You couldn't have any sort of, you know, partisan pictures, any of that up. you're supposed to be totally nonpartisan because the people that you serve are the American people, not the American people that voted for the political beliefs that you agree with. Like it's supposed to be unbiased.
What scares me also is this tone that he had. There were a couple things he kept reiterating: the lethality, or how lethal he wanted our military to be, and saying we needed to have a warrior mentality, warrior this, warrior that, warrior mentality.
Mhm.
And there was also, he kept reiterating that, I forgot the exact wording, but basically saying we would be on offense and we would thwart dangers through offensive military tactics. And I think it was one senator on on the Democratic side that talked and spoke to, and asked him about, because I forgot who it was. I think it was a female senator, but asked him about President Trump saying that they may use military force against to take Greenland or the Panama Canal, and the fact that that would alienate our allies, and the fact that all military generals and personnel have said over and over and over, we cannot win a war by ourselves. As strong and as mighty as we may like to believe that we are, if you want to nuck if you buck with the likes of a China and a Russia, this cannot happen on your own. You need the backing of allies. And now you have a president and commander in chief that's wanting to alienate any ally that they want. And they asked him about that. He wanted no parts of saying that he would try to push back on that. It was a complete slurping of any and everything that the sun kissed man wanted to do. And it's very dangerous. What I want to hear from a DefSec is holding fast to the Constitution and the rule of law and what is legal. And what we had here is him not even trying to pretend. I might have even felt better if you tried to pretend that you were going to do that, but then get in the seat and do something else. He didn't even try to lie and pretend. He basically got up there and said, whatever the man wants, I'm going to give him that. Law be damned, Geneva Convention be damned, Constitution be damned. It's whatever he wants, and that's what we're going to go with. And this is someone who has no understanding. Donald Trump has no understanding of law, Constitution, standards and norms within the political process. He has no understanding of that. We know from the first term that he didn't read his briefings, his presidential briefings every day. He
And
didn't do any
they
of that.
cut down a lot of significant information because
And
they didn't have the attention span to read it.
and so now what that means is that goes to those secretaries that go to that 7 o'clock meeting, that attend the 7 o'clock meeting, to make sure that they're holding fast to what we know has the guardrails that have to be in place. And none of that is here anymore. So now any of his fantasies, ideations, anything that pops up in his head, he's going to say, I want this, and they're going to comply and obey. And now we're going to have a fucking shit show.
And I think another thing that I want to point out too is it was really uncomfortable. And then you're listening to this jargon, right? The warrior culture, the warrior ethos. I'm used to hearing that in the army. It's propaganda. It is what it is, right? But saying that he wants the Department of Defense to be more focused on, let me quote what he said: war fighting, lethality, meritocracy, standards, and readiness. And he criticized diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives as detrimental to military effectiveness. Yet he's not qualified to be the Secretary of Defense. But he's talking about meritocracy. I think that that's hilarious. I think
Right.
that's hilarious because even like they're making it seem like we have this weak ass military, Look at when we put boots on ground in Iraq. It was over within a month, and we lost less than 1,000 people and deaths and casualties. Look at Russia and their invasion of Ukraine. It's been over a year, and they have over 750,000 casualties. But that's who our big bad enemy was in the Cold War. But they're making it seem like we have this weak sort of military when all they're looking at is really the 100,000-foot view. They have more people than we do, but our technology is better. You know why we've been full throated in our support of Ukraine? We want to know how this stuff works, but we don't want to be the one shooting it. That's the whole thing. Like, as this war has escalated over there, we've been giving them more and more advanced stuff. We want to know how it works against a conventional military. This is a great example of that. But when you don't have people that understand that, and that secretary chair, when they can't provide sound military advice to the president, we're fucked. Because we got a lot of toys, we got a lot of money. They're trying to up the budget to $1 trillion. Mind you, an organization that is woefully incapable of passing a financial audit, we're going to give them more money. But things in this country that are mean tested, i.e., you make too much money, you're not going to get it, we're going to cut that. We're going to cut SNAP benefits because that makes sense. But we're going to continue to throw money into the black hole that is the military industrial complex in America.
He did mention something during, I believe it was his opening statement, that talked about expanding the military industrial complex, which is dangerous. I mean, completely dangerous. And also, another thing he kept bringing up, which lets you know where we're going with this, he kept bringing up, oh, we need to do more with bringing in more startups and more new companies into this military industrial complex. Why? Because these are his friends. These are people who he aligns with, and he wants to line their pockets with taxpayer money. All of his racist, discriminatory, bigoted, neo Ku Klux Klan friends down there that want to do heinous things, most of whom were a part of January 6th, let's be clear. He wants to reward them by giving them military contracts, millions upon millions and billions of dollars. And that's why he's coming to disrupt, because he's like, I don't want to stop the military industrial complex. I just don't want the money to go to people like Lockheed Martin and the big corporations, because I want to give it to these startups and all of these people who I'm friends with, so that they could now take over for these people, and they'll become the big people, and I could get a couple kickbacks and a couple, some more money to line my pockets. That's what this is all about. Let's be clear.
And this
It's
is
not about keeping us safe and free.
it does none of that.
It's all about that.
But here's the thing: if he were, this is how you know he's never ran a large organization, right? Because he would want a Lockheed Martin, a Boeing, a Northrop Grumman. He would want them to win the bid because these contracts are huge. Your little startup friends could get a piece of that versus getting none of that because they're going to be expected to deliver at scale. You mean to tell me that some little podunk ass startup is going to be able to deliver more in volume than some of these companies that have been doing contracting for well over 50 years? Is that what you expect me to believe? Oh, okay. And you expect me to believe that your startups have given more money than these people have given to the re-election campaign coffers? This is how I know you've never ran an organization, and this is how I know you really don't know how to navigate politics. Entrenched interests are always going to win in DC because they've got more money.
Let's just be clear about it. Every time he's been in a position of leadership, he's shown that, and I hate to be this guy, but I'm gonna say it, and whoever gets offended, be damned. You give off that you're one of those what they call a military jarheads that don't have a fucking clue what they're doing, but you were connected to the right friends and they got you to be the leader of these nonprofit organizations that you ran into the fucking ground. You have no experience, no education. You were a fucking person, like you said, boots on the ground who were given fucking orders and you followed them. You have no understanding of what it means to lead high ranking organization, to lead even hundreds or thousands of individuals, much less 3+ million that you would be asked to lead. So if you ran the shit in the ground that they let you play around with, now you think that we want to give you almost $900 billion to play around with and run into the fucking ground? We saw what you did with a couple million. What the fuck do we think you're going to do with hundreds of billions of dollars?
And my
I just wanted this to make sense to me.
it's when you look at the Department of Defense, right? It's it's the civilian employees, of which there are almost 750,000. Then you have to look at your active duty military, what 1.3, 1.4 million, something like that. And then you have to look at your National Guard and your reserves, which is around 800,000 people. So you're like 2.8 to 3 million total people that you're responsible for. And this person again, I don't think could lead his way out of a wet paper bag because I'm gonna tell you exactly what they told us when I was in the army. Right, I was active duty, and they told me the army is the easiest job that you're ever gonna have, and I still agree with that. Why? Because this is what my job was: showing up at the right time, at the right place, and the right uniform. That is all that I had to do. Another quote that I always got told in the U.S. Army: we don't pay you to think. You get paid to execute. Follow the order. And you mean to like I don't think this dude was anywhere near high enough to be coming up with some plans. And his commentary, even on his supposed area of knowledge, it's shallow, it's surface level, and it shows that he doesn't have the depth or the range to be in those types of conversations, let alone being Secretary of Defense. In my honest opinion,
And,
I
and and the other part about it is he always pointed to, well, I talked to these people and he's talking to people, he's talking to people aligned with him, most of whom are the worst of us. We're talking about your inherent racist, your inherent bigots, all of these people who are the worst of American society, the human genome, just the worst of us. And these are the people that he's relying on to be the basis of what he thinks the military should be. That's a fucking dangerous concept. And I also wholesalely neglect when we always talk about what the American people wanted, what the majority of Americans wanted. As a black person, the majority of American people wanted my ass to be enslaved. If left to themselves, we would still be the fucking shackles and in chains and living on plantations. We cannot base everything we do as a country on, well, that's what the majority of the people want. Because the majority of these fuckers are stupid as fuck, uneducated, and if left to themselves, are okay with the white supremacy that permeates everything that we do in this fucking country. But that's what y'all want to base
I
everything
thought you
on.
were going to be the level-headed one tonight. This doesn't sound very level-headed to me. Also, I'm really tired of them saying that there was a mandate, right? The popular vote was won by 1.5%. That's not a mandate. And
At
the
all.
only reason why Congress even shook down the way that it did in the House is because we see how bullshit the Electoral College is. Land doesn't fucking vote. People do. People vote. Land does not vote. So I hate with these misleading ass US maps where they're like, look at all these people voted. Look at this Red Sea. Nobody fucking lives there. There are more cows than goddamn people. Nobody fucking lives there. You don't matter. And I hate to say it like this, but you don't fucking matter. And this is gonna, get me into the whole California wildfire shit. Y'all trying to put conditions on people to get aid
I
when
guess that's our
all
segue
these
right there.
damn
There's our
states
segue to the
are
California
paying more money
wildfire.
than what the fuck they getting back. Do we just stop sending money to the federal government? Because clearly you motherfuckers don't know what the fuck you're doing with it. You keep giving it to these goddamn welfare ass red states that continue to elect these idiots. Like your government doesn't even provide you with anything in services, yet you continue to elect them. I'm tired of subsidizing this shit. It's just like the cousin that keeps having the damn baby. Bitch, after the second one, you ain't getting no baby shower. You're not getting no gifts. Stop encouraging bad behavior. You would have good governance if you had to support that shit yourself. Y'all talking about everybody else on welfare, everybody else with a handout. Every time I see these slack-jawed yokel cousin fuckers that live in flyover country, they got their goddamn handout. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. The other states are tired of caring for you.
Well, that
Cows ain't no
segue does.
goddamn people. They're not even 3/5 of a goddamn person like we were.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
That's in that piece of shit document that they're wiping their ass with now, also known as the Constitution.
Mm, mm. Speaking of which, talking about the California wildfires. So your
You know what?
Speaker of the House is in agreement that there should be stipulations on what on whether or not we should give money to uh uh um uh uh uh, uh we should give money to California because of the wildfires. Any money that we give to them, now he has a problem with them. This is the same person. This is the same Speaker of the House, mind you, who is in direct violation of your Constitution because he has already ordered that flags on the U.S. Capitol be at full height during the inauguration. Full,
When it's
uh,
supposed to be 30 days of mourning per the flag code.
right. But he said, fuck that. But he says there should be conditions on aid given to uh, uh, citizens of California that are given aid and money. Now, mind you, the salary that he receives, the amenities that he so loves, the lion's share of that comes from taxpayers in California, which is the largest state in these yet to be United States of America. Let's be clear. The lion's share of the taxpayer dollars that are received come from blue areas. Blue areas.
You know why that is?
That's where that goes back to what Cam was saying. Land doesn't vote, people do. And if we left it to solely the people, then what we would have is these red people would never be in power. And all of the money, the amenities that you enjoy, that comes a lot of it from people in California. Not only is he saying that, fuck bitch extraordinaire, Senator Tommy Tuberville said that California doesn't even deserve funding for the wildfires unless they make some changes. Here's what he said, quote, if you go to California, you run into a lot of Republicans, a lot of good people, and I hate it for them, but they are just overwhelmed by these inner city woke policies with the people that vote for them. And I don't mind sending some money, but unless they show that they're going to change their ways and get back to building dams and storing water, doing the maintenance with the brush and the trees and everything that everybody else does in the country, and they refuse to do it, they don't deserve anything. To be honest with you, unless they show us they're going to make some changes. That's what he says.
First of all, he's the dumbest goddamn senator and in the Senate. Let me just go and start there. He doesn't have no motherfucking qualifications. He was a failed goddamn football coach. And he's a fucking
Yep.
snitch, which is why the University of Alabama had all those goddamn scholarships revoked by the NCAA thanks to his snitching
Hmm.
bitch ass, and then he wanted to go off into the sunset. This is a senator that cannot name to you anything that's in the goddamn Bill of Rights, but he wants to put stipulations on the fifth largest economy in the world.
I
People
should
are going
also
to
tell you.
realize when you continue to play this political brinksmanship shit. I have told you time and time again, El Teddy, I'm looking for a modern day nullification crisis. I need a California, a New York to just say, fuck it, we not sending it. What are you going to do about it? Because when they stop giving money, then what? Because what, Texas is the 11th largest economy and Florida is the 20th. Let California and New York say, fuck it, we're done giving you money. What you gonna do then? Because it plays both ways. People don't understand the federalism requires bidirectional benefits. It is a symbiotic relationship. The moment that it becomes parasitic, that's a bad thing for the governors of this country. Because y'all spending all this money, but let California stop sending it. Then what we gonna do? Because Gavin Newsom petty. And he my kind of petty. I'm gonna fuck around and find out kind of petty right now.
But no, mind you, you got Tuberville and other
Tubbyville.
fucktards from places like Wyoming, Senator Barrasso, who said, quote, that there will be strings attached to the money that is ultimately approved for Los Angeles. End of quote.
They need to
Wait,
realize.
wait, what?
They need to realize.
Wyoming? Wyoming. Is that what we're doing? Wyoming, who have more bison than they have people. Is that what we're doing? Wyoming, y'all want to talk about what's attached to shit where everything you have in Wyoming probably comes via the taxpayers in California? Everything y'all have fucking in Wyoming, all of the things that your state has probably is because of blue states. Left to yourselves, you have nothing. But y'all want to put provisos and stipulations and strings attached to y'all got a lot of fucking nerve. A lot of nerve. I want y'all to keep the same energy when these red states have natural disasters. The
Remember,
next time we have a fucking
Hurricane Milton was
hurricane,
not too far ago. The
next time
the
we have a
deep freeze in
hurricane,
Texas. Can we talk about the deep freeze in Texas and how me as a resident that lives in Minnesota that has a utility company that was operating in Texas at that time? Do you know that I'm still paying a surcharge for that fuck up that I had nothing to do with because they didn't winterize their goddamn power infrastructure? What does that have to do with me? But I'm still paying it. I'm subsidizing them. And I'm tired of this thing in America where we hate welfare unless it's a fucking big business or a billionaire getting it. I'm tired of this privatize, the gain, socialize the losses. No, you wanted to hop into business. One of the things about doing business, it comes with risk. Losing your money is a risk. Y'all want to play in this damn stock market the same way? We don't need to bail any of you out. There's no such thing as too big to fail anymore. Let them go under. Let another billionaire buy for pennies on the dollar. That's how I feel.
That's why I say if y'all want to jump bad, I agree totally with you, Kamz, when you say if y'all want to jump bad, let Illinois, New York, and California say, fuck it. Y'all don't want to give us shit. We ain't giving y'all shit. What do you have? What you're going to have is taxes in these red states do what? Skyrocket. I'm just saying because they're throwing all of the rules out. They're saying throw everything out. Anything is on the table. We could do anything. I believe in vice versa. I will match your energy. Y'all could do whatever the fuck y'all want to do and break all of the rules and say that's not we'll go against the grain and go against the norms. We can follow suit. Fuck you and fuck your life. And what are you going to do about it? I'm just saying.
They can attach conditions to it all they want, but anyone that was following politics that knew what the fuck was going on, they knew that this prior election, the Senate was not going, the Dems were not going to keep the Senate. Okay, let's be very for real. The
Mhm.
electoral map looked like shit, but guess what? It doesn't look like shit in the midterms. And you want to know what happens in the midterms? The party in power always fucking loses it.
Yep.
So y'all, if the Republicans think they have 4 years of people just not paying attention, being asleep at the fucking wheel,
They don't.
it doesn't work that way. It doesn't
Because
work that
guess
way.
what? Yeehaw Junction and Petticoat Junction, they don't vote in the midterms. All of those people
Because
that
their
y'all depend
God is
on,
not up for election.
right? All of those people you depend on, they're not going to vote in 2026.
And
Let's see
like
what you got.
I want to say this too while we're up here, while we're talking about like how this money goes. Just so you know, when we're talking about these federal dollars flowing back to the state, do you know what the grand majority of that is for? It's for Medicaid and CHIP. So the people that are actually gonna benefit this are already the most vulnerable. So if you want to fuck over your own constituents, which it sounds like they do because they've been the party of billionaires, this
Hmm.
is what's gonna happen. Now these are the same people that when it was wildfires last time, they voted that aid down. But when Superstorm Sandy came, all of you had your hands out. Natural disasters are going to impact the entire United States.
Oh,
I don't think you need to
not
be
according
playing
to
this
them because
game.
there's no such thing as global warming or anything that doesn't exist.
There's also a volcano that's way overdue for eruption. So I'm just saying, it's in flyover country. I mean, I'm just putting it out there, and I feel like the senators that have the most to lose are the loudest ones. I'm just saying, like
I'm just saying.
it's not fun when the rabbit got the gun, and the rabbit will eventually have the gun. So how you treat people going up, they may be the same people to kick you in the ass while you're falling down.
You ain't never lied. I mean, only other part we had to talk about with that was that Biden was going to give a one-time $770 uh check to those affected. I don't know what you expect $770 to do for anybody affect. They've lost everything. Their homes, their possessions, everything they own. $770 ain't
Well,
gonna get
the
them
people
past
from
the end of the year.
North Carolina saying, "Well, they got $20 more than we did." That's what they're saying.
What is $770 gonna do for anybody? I
The
just want
same
to
thing
know.
750 did. Not a goddamn thing. It's just the immediate injection. What does that do when you've lost everything? I don't fucking know. Maybe pay for the Airbnb or the hotel. I don't know.
And that's only gonna pay for it for what, a couple days?
It's all that he can do without this dysfunctional ass Congress. You let me tell it. smallest
Man,
majority in fucking years, and they think they got the big boy pants on. They finna tell people how it's gonna be. You could afford to lose one vote. Okay, whatever.
but no, here's what they're depending on. And I'm not even mad at them for depending on this. They're depending on the fact that the other side always has weak ass, puss ass, feckless ass bitches
Mm,
that
mm.
come over to the and say, "Yeah, let me just go over here and vote with them because I want it to be bipartisan." That's what they're depending on, and they can always count on the left to have
There'll
people like
always be a Senator Fetterman, though.
mhm,
There'll always
who
be
ain't
that.
shit.
Somebody said the stroke made him racist, made him think that he's a conservative. I don't know. Maybe he just played the long game now that he's a senator.
I guess. As we transition, there was a report that came out today, sir. The Jack Smith report on your upcoming president.
He ain't mine. Shit, I ain't vote for his ass.
Um,
He's the country's president. He's not mine.
about it was much ado about it. We know everything that was in the report. I have nothing for this. I really don't. I really have nothing for it.
You ain't got
We
you,
we,
you
we,
ain't got
we,
nothing for
we
it.
I have nothing. We know that between the
Oh,
Supreme Court,
okay.
Congress, and every structural institution in our American government, they have basically laid their guardrails, they've laid everything down to bow at their God King, Donald John Trump,
Mm,
to include all of Congress, to include
mhm.
all of the executive branch, and to include all of the judiciary. That basically is what I gather from this report. It matters not the details of what he did. What matters is the fact that the entirety of the American government has said to themselves, this one individual gets a pass on everything. The Antichrist himself, our God King, we will make sure that we protect him, his name, likeness, and legacy at all costs. But every other swinging dick, every other human being, anybody else within the Homo sapien genome, you fuckers better not try it. But our God King here, none of it applies to him. That is all that I gather because having me know the intimate details of all of the rules of law, all of the parts of the Constitution that he fucking violated, that these people don't give a damn about. The fact that just like the January 6th insurrectionists and terrorists smeared their fecal matter all over the walls of Congress. He smears his fecal matter all over the pages of each and every doctrine, law, amendment, article of the Constitution. And that's all I got because I ain't got shit else for it.
I just have one minor comment on how I believe that the Supreme Court ain't shit. To follow that very captivating statement that you just had, when the Supreme Court ruled that the orange fucker was immune for prosecution for certain action because it was taken under his presidential authority, um, I thought that was a sack of horseshit. But what that did is it did force special counsel to have to narrow um, the charges that they could even bring against the orange sack of fecal matter. So when we look at that, what that speaks to me is the legal frameworks that currently exist today are woefully insufficient to hold a former president accountable. This country was founded that no person was above the law. There are no kings. There are no absolute beings. But yet the Supreme Court has subverted that. I'm not mad at Jack Smith, to be quite frank, because Jack Smith did a very thorough job from what I read. Okay, Jack Smith did his fucking job. Who I'm mad at is Merrick Garland. Fuck him.
The same Merrick Garland, whose bitch ass refused to do a full fucking investigation into the background, a full background check on fucking Pete Hegseth or any of his nominees. Your last thing that you needed to do, you stupid ass, basehead ass fuck bitch, was fucking do a thorough fucking investigation to the people that's about to lead this fucking country. And your bitch ass decided, no need to do a full background check on the people that are responsible for guiding this country. No, Merrick Garland, you decided that wasn't a good idea, right? You decided that going full steam, you waited until way beyond the time. The time for you to investigate this fucker was on January 21st, 2021. Did you do that? No, you didn't. Because you don't give a damn, Merrick Garland. The same way we have fucking Matt Gaetz, who's a whole ass statutory rapist. And you knew that and had credible evidence and still said, I'm not going to prosecute him. This is what we got going on in the weak, puss ass, feckless ass Department of Justice. And that's under a fucking Democratic administration. What the fuck do you think is about to happen now when we get Kash Patel and all of these other people that they're about to put over here? What the fuck do you think about to happen now? Let me be quiet. Let me go ahead. Let me mute myself. I'm going on mute because I almost had a sugar spike.
I mean, I thought you were supposed to be the level-headed one, so I mean, I thought I was gonna come in here, cause some chaos, some confusion, some discord. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna do a little yang around the live, but you've been spiking the fuck out beautifully, might I add. So I'm not mad. But the one quick point I wanted to make when we talked about insufficient background checks, the current nominee for Secretary of Defense has an insufficient background check. I just wanted to throw that out there. Now, when you go apply for a job, they gonna go back 17 years. They want to know who Lil Pookie and Lil Ray Ray is, where your baby daddy been for the last 8 years. They want to know all of that shit for you to get you a job so you can get paid. But if you want to run, some of these government agencies, fuck it, anything goes. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to say, if Trump can be president again, they don't even need to have minimum qualifications for me to apply for a motherfucking job in America. That's all I got to say. Background check for what? Y'all letting felons be the fucking president? If you could aspire to the highest office in the land, the fuck is we running background checks for at this point? That's all I'm saying. It doesn't make sense to me. This is absurd. I don't believe I'm living in reality right now. You can't sell me this shit. Clearly, this is a sitcom. Where are the cameras? Where are the cameras? Where's my confessional?
Like we're being punked. I'm waiting for Ashton Kutcher to come out and say, you've been punked. Speaking of Ashton, I got Ashton in the chat as I would say Ashton Kutcher. Hey, Ashton. This is insanity. Complete and utter and fucking sanity.
Not the Twilight Zone. Not the Twilight Zone. We've we're the fucking Matrix. None of this makes sense. 2 and 2 is 5 right now. Bab. Nah, that was a line right there. Also, fuck T-Mobile because I have worked there prior. Fuck them people.
I don't. Let me segue in. You know what? Damn that. I'm spiking out. I'm spiking out.
Let's go ahead. Yeah.
Oh God. You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
I want to fight. That he gave. His only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And
sugar spikes.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
I'm sorry, I was spiking out. I was spiking all the way out. Major sugar spikes. Okay,
I want to fight.
listen, I'm over here having major sugar spikes.
Somebody
I was
help me. Look,
I was
somebody
supposed
needs
to
to
be
help
the
me.
level-headed one today. I was supposed to be the level-headed one today,
And you're not. And you're not.
and you've been over here just chill. There's nothing to be. There's nothing to be excited about. This is your demeanor today. Nothing to see here. You done let that edible kick in. You that's why the fuck you over here like this. No, I'm good. 'Cause you done let that motherfucking edible kick in. Bitch, you over here like this. Well, it's okay. I'm over here. I'm on this sauce and I'm over here spiking out. You over here on the edible, like, well, it'll be all right.
Don't you climb trees?
Ow!
Because I climb trees.
Oh my God.
Look, here's my thing. Here's my thing, right? The reason why I'm really not upset over this, and this goes all the way back to me learning how the government works, right? When they were like, it's been set up this way to prevent this from ever occurring. And just knowing history, right? Just knowing history, we've always had a government that's always been behind a cult of personality. Historically, this has happened because we refuse to learn from history. Okay? It's been done over and over again. The only guardrails that we had to prevent this from occurring in the United States were unwritten rules. But now we have a governing party that doesn't believe in anything other than might makes right. And when they don't have the power to make that true, they'll do any dirty handed trick under the book to get their policy outcome. We threw this shit away years ago. I just have been screaming, the sky is falling. Nobody wanted to believe me, but now that we got him a second time, oh, now the sky is falling. It's been falling. You just haven't been paying attention. We just didn't have someone that was so detestable of a human being that they would try to enrich themselves by being president of the United States. The only reason this motherfucker ran again, and I'm gonna just be for real, I wish we would have never tried to charge this motherfucker because he would have disappeared. He would have disappeared. He would have been out of the news cycle, out of sight, out of mind. Would have had some slightly less psychopathic person be the GOP nominee. Who gives a shit? But the only reason this motherfucker got back in was to get away from them goddamn consequences. And you can thank that raggedy ass Supreme Court for that shit.
Speaking of Supreme Court, that segues to our next segment, which is some important Supreme Court cases. One Supreme Court case, one case that the Supreme Court is taking up is the case within Free Speech Coalition versus Paxton, which is the case. It's the porn case where that will decide
case.
whether or not they can legally ask for you to verify your age when going on pornography websites. The other case that we'll be looking at is the case that dismantles the panel that decides coverage for the Affordable Care Act, and which means they'll decide what health insurance companies are required to pay for. I'll let you take it, sir.
Which case do you want to start off with? Do you want to start off with the Free Speech Coalition?
It's on you, sir. Whatever you want to go. Whatever you want to go.
Well, I feel like porn is less important, so let's start with that shit first, because I would prefer to spend a little bit more time on healthcare. That's a human right, in my opinion. So let's set up the background to this first case, right? It's the Free Speech Coalition versus Kenneth Paxton, who is the cross-eyed, drunk-ass Attorney General of Texas. So the free
The
speech.
one who has allegations of go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, no, go ahead. No, no, no. Finish. No, no, no. I welcome Paxton slander. Please finish your thought.
Yeah, yeah. The one guy that has actual allegations and actual evidence of sexual assault, who has allegations of even going as far as being a PDF file and stuff like that. But I'll let you continue. Who the Texas legislature, when finding out about this, decided to keep in power
Mm-hmm.
as Attorney General of the great state of Texas.
Mm.
But I'll let y'all. Go
Maybe,
ahead. I'm
maybe
sorry.
this is a little bit ableist of me, El Teddy, and if so, please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to misrepresent your platform, but I just don't understand how that person's a politician because I don't trust anybody with an eye like that. I'm
I
just saying.
mean, they have a whole ass. You forgot Governor Hot Wheels over there with his wheelchair ramp down to the governor's mansion in Austin, Texas. That I've been screaming for somebody to put some Crisco oil on and push his ass down the fucking wheelchair ramp.
Well, there's a surplus of baby oil right now. Now that Diddy's
There
currently
he is.
behind bars, so
Line that shit up
Johnson
with
and
baby oil.
Johnson, they just got excess inventory. So like, I don't know why anyone can't just shoot a little some on a ramp and maybe grease the wheels a little bit. I don't know. Just saying.
Man,
I've seen you know bad things happen to good people. Why can't bad things happen to terrible people? That's a question I
exactly.
would ask. But anyway, so the Free Speech Coalition is basically a nonprofit made up of companies, your porn hubs and all that good stuff, right? So basically, this Supreme Court debate is centered around three things, essentially: free speech, the right to be anonymous, and privacy rights in general, which have been under attack, I would say, since the Patriot Act. I mean, shit, we don't even have, uh, you know, a definition of what unreasonable search and seizure is at this point. But essentially, Texas House Bill 1181, they're trying to make that declared unconstitutional. Essentially, what it requires is that a huge number of websites, even those that are not adult content websites, they are going to require them to implement age verification. That's the whole law. So this is following a shift, the Puritans on the right, where they want to force websites to determine the identity of their users before allowing them to access protected speech. And in some cases, before you can access social media, they're going to require you to have to validate age. So if the Supreme Court does side with Texas, I think it will open the floodwater to a lot of state laws that are going to frustrate internet users, and it's going to really impede their First Amendment rights, as well as make them less secure online. And there's primary reasons why I say this. Adult content is protected speech. Precedent has shown us that under current US law, adult content is protected speech. So it would be a violation of the First Amendment to basically require the state to have age verification to access that. Okay? That's one of the arguments that are being made. Another argument that they're making is if you're going to require this for every adult in Texas to be able to legally see this protected content, it creates a privacy and data security nightmare because the personally identifiable data that you will be given over, it is more sensitive than your password. We've already had a swath of breaches, and I think the one that we don't talk about enough is AT&T and Verizon. Not only did they hack into that infrastructure, the infrastructure that's reporting all of your phone calls to the NSA was also hacked. It was also hacked. And that's because we have this huge amalgamation of data collection because we allow information brokers to collect all this information and then to sell it to advertisers. And whenever you hear about these huge breaches, these companies have not been doing basic cybersecurity hygiene. They're not even encrypting your information. People just going in on the network sharing, just stealing millions of people's identities. And it's all over the dark web. Because unlike Europe, we don't have any sort of modern, I would say modern data privacy legislation. There is none. So Pornhub, rightfully, and the Free Speech Coalition, rightfully, they're like, look, you can't put the burden on us. We don't want to have that information at all. Because they already realize the moment they're legally obligated to have to maintain that information, now they got to spend almost 3 times as much on cybersecurity because bad actors know they've got this information somewhere because they have to validate it before it goes through to be able to look at the boobies and the peen. And everybody knows that people like to look at boobies and peen. Mind you, Pornhub is already blocked in a lot of states across the Southeast now. And people are using VPNs to bypass it. People want to look at their boobies. Now, mind you, this law, it's very similar to something that the Supreme Court already struck down prior. There's already been precedent on this. Where we looked at, what was it, the Communications Decency Act? They said that several portions of that was a violation of the First Amendment. And it also had some age verification stuff in there, and that was struck down 7-2. But that was a different Supreme Court. I would argue a more sane and less partisan Supreme Court. Ronald, think of the children. Well, the state of Texas. The state of Texas is the defendant. But the people with standing are the companies that will be subject to this. Thus, the Free Speech Coalition will be the harmed party, which is why they have the standing.
My issue with all of this, and I'm glad you added the context about having our personal identification.
They're asking for your driver's license to validate this in some of these states. You want them to have your name, your date of birth, your social security card, your driver's license number, and some. I was a part of the Office of Personnel Management. I was a part of that breach because I had a top secret clearance. I still to this day have to pay for identity theft protection. And this was in 2011 when that breach happened. And I still have to pay for it in 2025 because my social security number was a part of it. I don't understand why we even have that because other countries don't even have credit, but we don't need to get into that. Your thoughts?
My thought is what we are not paying attention to, and that's happening right now in real time. The entirety of what we know to be this democratic republic is being turned into an authoritarian government. Everything. The setup is happening right in our faces, but we have an electorate that's too fucking stupid to see this shit. So now, in addition to the fact that we have given up all of our rights to privacy.
Yes.
We are being asked to give up all of our free speech. And if you include removing access to porn, removing access to social media apps like TikTok and other things that don't align with our oligarchy, we are completely having our access to the internet and information blocked. We are turning into the People's Republic of China. We're turning into North Korea, where your king or your God king in charge decides what you're going to say, what you're going to see, and what you have access to. Your rights be damned. Your rights be damned. And what the stupid ass electorate does is they say, oh, because what they put in front of you is my white supremacy is being questioned, and they're trying to take away my white supremacy. So I'm voting for my white supremacy, not knowing by voting for these people who tell you they're going to protect your white supremacy, you're now voting in authoritarianism. And while you seem to believe that you'll be protected, what you forgot, Rufus, is you don't have the fifth element of the Pentagon, the five-pointed star. You don't you don't contain the fifth element. You may have the four, you may be white, male, Christian, and heterosexual, but guess what you're missing? You're missing the pivotal fifth element of the Pentagon, of the five-pointed star, and that's the part where you're rich. And they never tell you that part. They force them to believe that they only need four, when really what you need is all five of the Infinity Stones.
You can't
And
do
if
the
you
sample.
only got four, guess what? You'll be swept in with the rest of us when the authoritarian government kicks in, when your rights are taken away from you, when you're not a part of the oligarchy. And when you thought you were voting for one thing, you were too stupid to read the fine print. You were too dumb to look at the totality of what you were voting for. You were so concerned with being white and male, you forgot that your stupid ass was dumb and poor. And now you'll be like the rest of us. Because, contrary to popular belief, if you look at what we have globally, if you look at the human genome and the human spectrum, if we look at the demographics of these billions of people on this planet we call Earth, the real minority are white people. They are truly the minority. But we've had a minority that has forced itself to have supremacy over the majority. And those people have just allowed it to happen. All of the money, all of the power, all of the influence. And so now what we have with this case, where you thought I could just go off over here and be bigoted and transphobic, but still watch my transsexuals on my Pornhub, now that's going to be taken away from you. What you gonna do, homophobe, when you can't watch your little white boy twink get his back blown out by BBC? What you gonna do, transphobe, when you can't watch your favorite transsexual with her 11-inch penis stroke one out and blow the backs out of some thug? What you fucking gonna do now, you rat the fuck ass bastards who voted for your white supremacy, neglecting and forgetting that they were gonna take all of this away from you? Fuck you and fuck your life. I got access to what I need to have access to. I hope they take all your shit away. And you notice that
Okay.
this is happening in some of the reddest and most racist of states out there. You notice that, right? I don't want to hear about it.
But have you seen like what Pornhub is petty? So like in every one of these states where they've passed these laws and like you have to do like the verification, whatever, Pornhub has banned them. basically they put a geo block on all of the IP addresses that will come out of that state. So you have to use a VPN to get around it, right? But they've gone a step further and they've actually revealed the most searched porn term
Mm-hmm.
or phrase
Uh-huh.
on a
Uh-huh.
lot of these states. And
Uh-huh.
to your point, people like BBC.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not talking about the British Broadcasting Corporation.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But I think that, and this is just taking it in a little different step here. I think that it's important to know like why they're trying to fight this law so much, right? Each like incident is $10,000 under this law. If a minor's involved, it's $250,000 per incident. Who's trying to deal with that? Nobody's trying to deal with no damn fines. Further to that, you already know which appeals court ruled that this shit was constitutional, right?
Where democracy goes to die, the Fifth Circuit.
Now, did you read the law that the Fifth Circuit used to say that this law was constitutional?
Oh yeah.
A 1960 Supreme Court decision where they were talking about it's okay to have age verification for in-person adult material purchases. Well, bitch, that makes sense. I also have to do that when I'm drinking fucking alcohol. But when I'm doing something virtually, if I buy alcohol virtually, they scan my driver's license in person. I don't have to go and transmit my information over the internet where it can be intercepted. So I don't have to worry about any risk of theft. Especially my identity, like that's important. Especially if you got good credit.
Right.
It'd be different if I was a brokey with no goddamn money.
If I had all the money that Kamz have, I'd be trying to protect my identity too. He over there with black cards, and he over there, almost at the 2 Comma
I have
Club.
an Amex. I don't have an Amex. But anyway, I do also want to point this out. Ashcroft versus the ACLU, right? In that Supreme Court case, they actually struck down age verification. Why? The Supreme Court said that it was not narrowly tailored enough, meaning this is too restrictive when other countermeasures that are less invasive would do the same thing. Here's what I have to say, because I don't have children, right? I ain't got no kids. So, fuck them kids. Just gonna start off with that. I ain't got no kids. I ain't got no dependents. Okay, so they taxing the fuck out of me. Fuck them kids. Two, to that point, right? Fuck them kids. It's really just fuck them kids. Like I'm trying to come up with a second point, but it's really fuck them kids. As a person that is in the IT and cybersecurity field, there have always been countermeasures in place for parents. It is not society's job to raise your child for you. You as the parent have to do that. They have all sorts of content blockers. They have all sorts of software that you can put on devices to include cell phones, tablets, home computers, what have you. All of that can be done to filter pornographic material. This age verification is an undue burden on those companies, and it's stupid. Society is not going to raise your child for you. Every time someone says, won't someone please think of the kids? I'm not giving up fundamental rights that I've been granted by the Constitution for kids. I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. That appeal to emotion doesn't work on me. I know what rights I have in this country. Once you think of the kid, fuck them kids, okay? Fuck them kids. Because y'all don't care about them kids either. Because if we cared about them goddamn kids, they wouldn't be living in poverty in America.
I just want to point out that Ronald wants you to know he has a BBC. If you are fans of the BBC.
I mean, you are a science queen.
That is why he said earlier on today's live that he don't have trade. He is the trade. Just so you know. Ronald Dobbins, ladies and gentlemen.
Ronald, if you have fans, is that only fans or you have stands? Please.
You have OnlyFans, Ronald?
Please
the people want to know.
We're just curious. We're just curious.
Want to know.
I mean,
Let's
Harold, I don't know what they talking about because the party of family values be doing the freak bust downs up there in DC with these adult content creators we know about.
right. They're the ones who shutting down Grinder
Down to
and
the Milwaukee.
Sniffies down to the Republican National Convention whenever they get together. So I'm just saying.
But they do care about children, Harold, insofar as much as they want them uneducated so they can continue making the oligarchy money.
Mm-hmm.
If you're too educated, hell, no one's going to go to war to fight for these rich people in America. We would hate to have to bring the draft back.
Um, let's go over to that second Supreme Court case we're going to look at, the
Look,
one that takes away money to pay for things like cancer screenings, heart health screenings, the ones that say damn your HIV preventative medications, the one that takes away diabetes screenings, the one that takes away health care for infants and newborns to keep them safe, right? The ones that say, damn the old people who need medication to keep them from falling. We ain't paying for none of that. We are here. We welcome cancer. We welcome diabetes. We welcome
well, did you forget?
heart attacks
Did you
and
forget this one
all of that.
thing?
Huh?
It also would not cover prenatal nutritional supplements. But this is the party that says they are pro-life.
Right.
Let's be clear here. This is the party that says they're pro-life.
We just ain't gonna pay for that life.
Free mammograms. Yep. Breast cancer about to make a comeback. Susan G. Komen, that foundation about to be rolling in the dough. Now, these two companies that are behind it, Kelly Orthodontics and Braidwood Management, and several residents from Texas. It's always
It's always Texas. It always
Oh yeah,
is.
the former Solicitor General of Texas, Jonathan Mitchell. He's he crafted the state's 6-week abortion ban. He's involved in this group, right? So the fifth, the Fifth Circuit for the Court of Appeals, where
Of course,
democracy
that's where
goes to the left.
democracy goes to die. I keep telling y'all that.
There you go. So
And let me just segue right here. I've been saying this for the last several years. These people are very intentional and deliberate at making sure that these things come out of states that are a part of the Fifth Circuit. They're not stupid. They have lined the Fifth Circuit with individuals that are there to do their bidding. It's not it's not a coincidence. You see shit coming out of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. These are all states a part of the Fifth Circuit. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kamz.
where was I going with that? Hold on. I was going somewhere. Boop. Okay. Fifth circuit, right? The reason why they upheld the lower court's ruling is because a lot of this is centered around the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force, and they're responsible for recommending which preventative services are covered or not, or required to be covered. They're saying that they lacked the proper constitutional authority because their members are not appointed by the president and confirmed by the Senate. That's what this hinges on. Right? So I mean, we're gonna jeopardize healthcare coverage that's been in place for fucking 14 years because you're saying like these companies, because companies aren't fucking people. I just want to start there. Companies are not goddamn people.
Not according to our not according to our laws. They are people.
And I really do want to say, like, a lot of these crazy ass Supreme Court decisions that have been coming out, I question what the fuck they learned in law school. Because, like, some of the analogies they were trying to use in that TikTok ban shit ain't make no goddamn sense. Alito just sounded stupid. Thomas too, though. But he's always been a little bit out there. You know what? When I was in DC, I actually walked past the Heritage Foundation headquarters. I made sure to spit when I walked past it. Spit right on the sidewalk in front of it. Those people are just insane. Just none of that makes sense.
I've been screaming, there's a lot of members of the Rainbow Coalition compound that want nothing to do with politics. They say they don't give a damn and all of this. I want to know what a lot of these girls are going to do when the Ryan White Act is null and void because it's not being funded by our government anymore. What are they going to do?
And the funny
What
thing
are they
about
going to do when now they have to pay out of pocket for prep and doxypep? Prep costs anywhere between $3,000 and $4,000 a month. Anywhere between $3,000 and $4,000 for a 30-day prescription if you're taking the pills. If you're on the injection regimen, it's roughly about $17,000 per regimen of the injections. And that's every 8 weeks. $17,000. And we're talking about them saying, we're not paying for this. And so now you have to pay for this out of pocket.
and honestly, and if you're using a generic, yeah, it's cheaper. But that's $60, $60 to $100 you didn't have to pay. Also, to your point about them, if the Ryan White program, if that Ryan White Care Act goes away, then I think that people don't realize where a lot of these HIV cases are in red states. So now you as a state have to come up with more money. They do, like, if we're saying that we're going to be fiscally responsible, prevention is always cheaper than treatment. Always. If we can prevent this from occurring, that's a net gain for society. But if they strike down this being unconstitutional and a lot of these things are no longer covered, I mean, we're going to lose at least 2,000 people a year from things related to HIV and AIDS. And I think that that's one too many, in my opinion. But I also think that the government should take care of its citizens, which, I mean, our government ain't been doing that shit for a while.
I mean, we are the only the only major government that doesn't pay for and fund universal health care. Like,
But you know why we don't have universal health care?
Well, that goes back to the first discussion today.
They didn't want us to have it. It's just like, oh, the moment we're able to attend institutions of higher education, oh, now student loans are a thing. Oh, now you have to pay for it because you don't want us to have it. It's weird how you're so willing to make your life more miserable because you don't want the wrong type of people to get the right kind of benefit. That's interesting to me.
Just like credit scores and all of that was invented when we started getting money, right?
You didn't want us to have no house? Redlining wasn't enough? Interesting. Interesting. I see. But you know how it is, and you know how they do. And the log cabin Republicans are mentally ill. They're masochists, and they love abuse because they continue to go back to it.
These are the same ones who like to be fisted and who have rosebuds.
What was that movie where the famous dying line was Rosebud? What was that?
These are the same people who want whole arms lodged up their rectum and then want to push out their rosebuds.
Citizen Kane. Yes, that's the movie. I look. I was gonna remember. It was gonna bother me otherwise. Every time people say Rosebud, I think of Citizen Kane,
Mm.
and not people's anus protruding because they involved in some weird ass kink.
Mm.
I mean, honestly, Bab, like people look. If it's a group they hate, they'll go a winter with no heat. If it meant that a gay person didn't get a damn thing, they would risk frostbite to make sure none of us darkies got a damn thing. I'm
Now,
cool with no heat as long as they don't get.
what's so funny is there is record level enrollment in the Affordable Care Act only after you voted for someone who said that they were going to get rid of it. I'm trying to make this shit make sense.
Look, oh no 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 no. Well, you can get rid of that Obamacare, but I want to keep my Affordable Care Act. It's the same thing. Why didn't y'all tell me? You have a supercomputer in your hand. You couldn't use a
Actually, we did
service
tell you.
to
Actually, we
find
did
this?
tell you that.
He has concepts. And you know what, Bab? And when they going through all this goddamn suffering, I have concepts of thoughts and prayers. Concepts. We're still trying to sketch out what that would look like, but preliminary planning, we have concepts of thoughts and prayers. What religion we're going, what God we're going to be praying to, I don't know. How long it's going to be, what time of day, I don't know any of that yet. But concepts of thoughts and prayers when people are
Go
going
pray
through
to your
stuff.
God King, sun kissed man.
I don't even drink Sunkiss no more. He's ruined Sunkiss for me. I used to love the peach Sunkiss. Used to be good.
Anyway, we've been over here over an hour and a half. I blame you. We were supposed to be out of here in an hour. And
Well, you
here
know
we
what?
are at over an hour and a half playing around with you with your sugar spikes and losing it all day today.
Don't you damn gaslight me like you're a member of the GOP. How damn dare you? Why did they lose their Ozempic? But I didn't say nothing.
Mm. They don't want to lose that good Zim Zim.
Wait till them backs get big again. And that insulin ain't capped.
Mm.
Oh, me my gone? Mm.
Oh, but they had so much problems with the fact that Kamala kept mentioning the $35 incident. Why she keep talking about that? Okay, well, I bet you want her to talk about it some more. I bet you might want her to talk about it some more when
Well, when
insulin
you
go
have
back up.
peripheral neuropathy from your goddamn diabetes, you'll then start to, oh, no wonder she was talking about them $35.
Mm.
It is what it is. Yo, you're on your own. Because
You
where
on
we
your
at?
own, bitch.
We at brunch.
I hate
Mark.
to be elitist, but poor ass trailer park ass white people who are about to lose their health care coverage, who are about to have everything they know change. My black ass working my black ass job have great insurance coverage. I don't have these problems. We are not the same. We're not in the same tax bracket, you raggedy ass bitch.
Look.
But this is what comes when we have people actually pull themselves up by the bootstraps and get it from the dirt.
And then I think it's very interesting, right? How people don't have an accurate depiction of themselves in society. You think I'm at the bottom of the totem pole because I am black. I clearly am not. I don't struggle to eat. I'm not worried about my bills being months behind because they're paid what? On time. So I'll be fine. I was never concerned about the price of motherfucking eggs. Let's call a thing a thing.
I haven't bought a carton of eggs in years. Let's be clear. If I want some eggs, I'm gonna go to a restaurant, sit down for brunch, and have them make that shit for me. But I don't buy eggs since I don't cook the most like that.
I buy egg whites. So
When I get my omelets made for me, it's egg whites only.
look,
And I need to see you crack them out of the shell. Don't try to pour it out of a carton. I don't believe in that shit. I'm bougie as hell. I want to see you get the egg whites and crack the shit out of a
And I've
shell.
been paying
I don't
for
give a damn.
my turkey sausage. I've been eating my avocado toast.
I
I've
don't like
been
turkey sausage. Give me my or turkey bacon. Give me my swine. The turkey sausage and bacon is more saltier to me. Give me my swine.
it could be it could also be a brand thing too though. It could be a brand thing too though. Bab, I'm not gonna lie, oxtails have been completely gentrified.
Listen, remember back in the 80s and early 90s when oxtails, you could get them pennies on a dollar?
Wasn't nobody buying no
Wasn't
oxtails.
nobody but black people. We were the only motherfuckers that was buying oxtails. I'm from Miami. So not only was we black, we have a huge Caribbean population in Miami. So we had oxtails aplenty. Now these child.
I'm not gonna lie, I had some damn good food down that way. I mean, I still don't fuck with that state, but I will say there's some good food to be had down that way. I will say that. I
We
will.
have good Caribbean food and we have good
Korean food is
seafood
great. Like, I mean, I enjoy it. So, like,
and good
when
seafood.
I'm down there, I always get me an authentic meal. But oxtails have definitely been gentrified. They've been gentrified. People like bring back gatekeeping. Some parts of the culture should only
This
be
what
for
happened
us
when y'all
because
start
it's my
inviting all these white people to cookouts. This is why I've never been about inviting people to the cookout. Can we? No, bitch, you can't come to the cookout. Make your own shit down there. You're not invited to where I'm at. And I look sideways when y'all be letting these people over here. I don't like the people descended from the Caucasus Mountains. I tolerate they stinking ass at work, and that's the fuck it. I don't like them bastards. They don't like me, and I can't stand they stinking asses either.
I just
Oh,
think
but they
that
cool. They
no,
here for us. No,
no,
they ain't. Because
no.
when push comes to shove, and when we out there and my black ass is on the pavement getting choked out by police, they're gonna be over there like, oh, that's so horrible. But take me to my house.
I'm just saying, like, it's funny that you're saying that the reason why you voted for this train wreck of a fucking administration that's incoming is because eggs was too fucking high. This bitch ain't said shit about no motherfucking eggs. This bitch ain't said shit about the cost of living crisis that we have. How most millennials can't afford to get no goddamn house. They
He
said we got
already said
motherfuckers
he
student
can't
loans.
make groceries go down. He already said that. I don't know how to make the price
You
of
pissed
groceries go
off
down.
our neighbor to the north and our neighbor to the goddamn south. You think in Panama a bunch of puss ass hoes, and they're not. We really need to recognize that most of the things that are coming through a ship is coming through the Panama Canal. So we might want to shut the fuck up because we already get a preferential deal, which is why uh, President Carter, may he rest in peace, ceded that back to them. That was a great negotiation because shit, it's still cheaper for us to get shit from overseas than to get it here, even accounting for the transportation costs. Baby, I don't want to go to the hoedown. I saw Get
I
Out.
know. I'm
You
not
think
over
I'm gonna
there.
be the only
I
one in
want
the
no parts of
location?
square
Pass.
dancing. I want no parts of square dancing. I want no parts of your music over there. I don't want any parts of it.
I just really think that it's okay to be separate. I think that's fine because I noticed that through this election, we saw people for who they really were. Black people are always so overly empathetic that we looking out for everybody else. We need to stop that shit. I'm mad that so many people that voted against their own self interest as immigrants got here off of the work of our ancestors and getting a lot of the civil rights acts passed, which have been now gutted. So the protections that were there for us, we got fucked. But then these people can still come over here and they have the audacity to look down their noses at us. Uh, and then you vote against someone that is actively out to harm me. Ain't no motherfucking invites to no goddamn cookout. You on your own. Take your ass over there. Eat your own culture food. We good over here. We chilling. Baby, the fact that the average American reads and understands on the sixth grade level is why we had that clusterfuck of a goddamn election. I'm sorry. These people are goddamn stupid. What's a tariff? Why is that shit trending after you fucking voted? What's a tariff, baby? You should have been doing this shit to begin with when he was on the campaign trail. I'm gonna make China pay tariff. What are tariffs? Oh, when Abuela's gone, I don't give a shit. Bye. You voted for what you wanted to vote for. Like, I don't understand how anybody that is not here with squeaky clean documentation voted that way. I don't. Because I'm just like, you think they hate black people. They also hate you. Have you seen the South Asians that are like, oh wait, they hate me? Yes, they hate you. And they
I
hate the
don't know
H1B
why.
visa program. Are you
No, because the Asians, Southeast Asians are. Oh, we're the good minorities. We're okay. Hello, you stupid ass dick fucks. While you rat ass bastards are over here looking at us black people, the only reason that you people are afforded anything in these yet to be United States of America is because of our black asses. Let's be clear, they would still have Southeast Asians in concentration camps, and they would still be deporting Latinos out of this country. They wouldn't even dream about letting Middle Eastern people even to enter this country. Any and everything that you have, your whole way of living, and the fact that you're afforded an opportunity in this country is because of Black Americans and the fight that we had.
is it bad that I really want to just sit down and I just want to tell people when we talk about white supremacy, right? There's a requirement that you have to participate in that. It's in the title. It's the first word. If you're not white, you don't have the qualifications to participate in white supremacy. So why are you going along with white supremacist policy? You're not going to be a recipient of it. You're not eligible. You just don't meet the qualifications. Did you not read the job description? Everything it starts out with white. You don't meet that criteria. I don't care how much bleach you douse upon yourself, how much you submerge yourself in it, you'll never be white. You'll never be a part of their club. You'll always be an outsider. The law will always bind you, but it will not protect you. And it will always protect them, but it won't bind them. That's how they're able to kill black people with impunity in America.
And even if you're white, like I said earlier, you may have four, but you don't have, if you don't have all five infinity stones, they don't give a damn about you either.
I'm still shocked that like these Asians that are so smart, y'all got perfect scores on the SAT, the ACT, and you didn't have enough goddamn reasoning to realize that we were never taking your fucking spots. It was always mediocre ass white people that were taking the spots. You could never get two and two and add four. Do you think they're going to give you the keys to future power in this country by allowing you to enter those institutions? Do you think they're going to let too many of your people in?
I mean, if you listen to the confirmation hearings, they kept talking about China. And for white people, anyone of Southeast Asian descent to them is Chinese.
Yeah.
You are a threat to them. Please be clear.
Now, mind you, they weren't a threat now when we first opened up trading with them, when they were chasing that cheap ass labor, when they basically signed all those agreements to share IP through these joint ventures. And now
Mm.
look at it. They don't have the same goddamn labor standards that we have. Of course, they're going to be able to undercut you. They've got $15,000 fucking EVs in China, and we over here charging 45, 50. That's why you really want to put these tariffs, because you are scared that they're going to whoop your ass. You don't want to compete. You want protection. And that's why you've kissed the ring of this administration. I'm just looking at every company that rolled back DEI, every company that's giving to this inauguration, every company that donated to the reelection campaign. I can choose where I spend my money. A lot of people ain't getting none in 2025 and beyond. They're not getting my money.
They got issues with H1B visas, right? But they are supporting the people who keep who want to keep the majority of Americans uneducated. Right.
And I think the real reason they want to use these, a lot of people don't know this. When you have an H-1B visa, the only way you get that is if they weren't able to recruit a similarly qualified American for the role. So they say that, oh no Americans can do this, they're too stupid, right? And then we pay, a South Asian $70,000-$80,000 to come over here and do a job where most people are making 250 to 300,000. Also, your visa, it's attached to your company. It's not attached to you. So if you quit working for X, you're going back. That's why Elon Musk and Zuckerberg want it. They don't want to pay Americans top dollar. They want to be able to abuse these people, pay them
Yep.
below market, and what the fuck you gonna do? You gonna say something bad? Deport your ass. We're gonna revoke that damn visa, send your ass back over. They want a captive employee audience.
They want indentured servants.
Look at this whole return to work, return to office, all this BS. Y'all don't even have enough seats for these people. Y'all think people gonna quit? No, I'm gonna show up every day. Ain't got nowhere to put my laptop. Every single day. The owner class has overplayed their hand. Zuckerberg is, man, I ain't got no problems.
Mind you, he calls himself the founder of Facebook, and that's not true.
He stole Facebook from somebody else.
He
Tesla
did.
was not founded by Elon Musk.
Elon Musk has never founded
He
anything.
hasn't founded shit. He just pays people to be listed as the founder, and they just kind of go away with their silent payout. That's what it is. And even if you've been following Tesla, their sales have gone down year over year. The Cybertruck is a goddamn failure. They're getting their ass whooped by Chinese manufacturers in China. It is what it is. I wish all the bad things could happen to Musk. And oh, by the way, fuck his old ass frail ass mama. Fuck that bitch.
She ain't dead yet.
Oh, she's on the new app that everybody's been Red Note because y'all finna ban TikTok. We going over to Red Note. Did you know Elon Musk's mother has a Red Note profile?
Interesting.
Yeah, I was dragging that bitch in Mandarin today. Fuck that old asshole. I ain't shit.
Oh, I know I ain't shit.
This,
I
they
ain't trying
give
to
me,
be
this
shit.
is me 2025. It is what the fuck it is. I'm not sugarcoating the goddamn thing because they never sugarcoated shit for us. When literally my school district was on the front page of the New York Times talking about fucking segregation. When the Department of Education and the Department of Justice is interviewing me as a student, this country never gave a fuck about me. You know what, Kamari? Right now our schools are full. Maybe next year you can come. No, fuck you, nigga. We don't want you to come to this school. We want you to go to that goddamn black school over there on the west side of town with no fucking resources. Fuck you. They didn't sugarcoat shit for me back then. Why should I have to sugarcoat shit now for adults? I'm not sugarcoating a goddamn thing in 2025. Fuck y'all. Eat shit and die.
That's what I say. Eat dirt and die trash, in the immortal words
I
of
hope that
Lawrence
all the
Scarrow.
bad things in life happen to them and only them.
Like my aunt used to say, fuck them and feed them fish on their motherfucking birthday.
What you want me to do about it? I did all I could do. I showed up at the voting booth. I voted to preserve democracy. The rest of y'all said, fuck it, burn it all down. Okay. Well, let's watch it burn. Let me get my goddamn s'mores ready. Okay. Let's start our bonfire. Fuck it.
I don't know what y'all want from me. I keep
I'm
telling
gonna
y'all
just
that. I
look.
don't know what you people want from me. What do you want from me?
When I tell you, it's so many Americans on Red Note speaking English. Like you ain't got no Mandarin. Google Translator, do it. Like Google Translator, do it enough if you want to read the comments. But anything that's in Mandarin, I just scroll right past that shit. I need the English.
Not you grew up in the hood, East St. Louis. That's why you be over there with Trade all the time.
He is the trade. Remember?
Oh, I'm sorry. He is the Trade. Listen, Ronald said he East St. Louis Trade. That's real hood over there. I've been to East St. Louis. Trade is like, oh, they got good trade over in East St. Louis. I'm trying to tell you, I done had a bunch of them.
I still got friends
Anyway,
in South St. Louis.
Ronald say he is straight from the East St. Louis. What?
And what?
Play pussy and get fucked if you want to.
Ooh.
It is, as of right now, Miss Baythang is about to be banned. You know,
January
today on
the
Run Your Mouth,
19th.
we talked about them going over the red note. Everybody,
They have introduced a bill to push the date of the ban back. There are talks, Miss Baythang, about Elon Musk potentially being one of the
Elon Musk
leaders.
came out today and said that's not true.
Nah, he says a lot of shit's not true, but yeah. He also said they're supposed to have a fully self-driving car by now, and they don't. So I don't believe the shit that nigga say. I just don't trust a white man from apartheid South Africa. Like I just don't.
He is from apartheid South Africa.
I don't trust anybody that owns a fucking blood emerald mine. Like I just don't trust it. I just don't. But then they also said that ugly ass man off Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary, I believe his name is. He been
He don't
cozying
have
up
enough
with Trump.
money,
You want to
but
buy
then
it.
he don't have enough money to buy the shit.
You know, big money don't never look at a price tag. If you got to ask how much it costs, you ain't got it. That's what I've been told. El Teddy and I are only on Twitter still for the triple X rated material.
Yeah, we're only there for freak Twitter. If it ain't freak
As
Twitter,
soon
we're
as
just waiting
soon
for all
as
them to come over to Blue Sky.
as
That's
soon
it.
as all them
That's
go
it.
over to Blue Sky, baby, I'm gonna be over there on Blue Sky watching them there. They just don't need to talk. Just sit there and look pretty.
Mhm.
Because God, they can't talk. Like, oh, just stupid.
Jesus God.
I mean,
Anyway,
what is
we have
what
enjoyed
is
y'all
China need?
today.
Like, what China knowing what I like on TikTok?
Sir,
What's that doing?
sir. We almost on 2 hours. You
Oh,
wanted
you
to be
got
out of
your
here.
appointment. No, you got your appointment tonight. My bad. I
I don't
forgot.
have nothing.
He got his dick appointment tonight, y'all. That's why he's trying to shortchange y'all.
I'm
Continue.
not. No. When we were backstage, y'all, he was the one saying, "Oh, we better not be on here a long time because I got stuff to do." And now we're damn near 2 hours in, and he's still over here going on.
Because we said that we were going to give the people everything in this service. We are giving.
I'm one of the people. Are you giving me everything?
I'm in a monogamous
I
relationship.
don't care about you and
I'm in a
whoever is over there.
monogamous
Tell
relationship.
him come fight me. I'll fuck that bitch up.
Okay, first of all, they don't go by that. They go by.
Tell them to come fight me.
you.
I'll fuck their ass up.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Anyway.
I bet you they can't fight. I bet you they don't want none of this smoke. I bet you they don't want to come around here and get none of these good hands.
No, they can't fight. No, they can't fight. They can scrap a little bit. They can scrap a little bit.
They don't want none of this. We ain't about no little bit around this fucker.
Why are you always trying to fight like the people that I'm?
I don't fight, but if it come
what's
to
up
it,
with that? Like, what's up with that? Like, what is that? Like I'm a possession of some shit. You know what I'm saying?
ain't nobody ask you nothing, Harold. Ain't nobody ask you nothing.
Thank you, Harold. Mwah.
Nobody asked Harold nothing.
This El Teddy still harassing me when he know he was just getting plunged up in down there in Colombia.
What do you don't know me or my life. You don't know what I had going on down to the Columbia.
What did Trey Songz say? He about to dive in. That's what the fuck was going on down
You don't
there.
know what
Down
I
there
had going on in Columbia. Oh, he not gonna make my mouth look like ketchup, Harold. That's what's not gonna happen. He is not gonna make my mouth look like ketchup.
Anyway, what are you gonna give me for my birthday?
I don't know. I
It's
might
Monday.
sing.
I'm so
I
excited, y'all.
might. I might sing you something real nice.
I'm gonna be drunk all
Mm.
weekend. Just so you
Don't read no text messages from
know.
me.
I'm gonna be
Do
on my
not open.
racy tip.
Do
I
not
didn't have to say.
open no messages from me, sir. Not in public.
Don't be sending me none of that.
I am.
Don't be sending
And
me none.
I hope they open your phone. I hope they sit right next to you when you open it. Mhm.
I ain't gonna open it. Don't worry about it. It's just gonna sit
Mm.
there. It's just gonna sit
Mhm. Mhm.
there. Look, don't be like this last person that sent me something inappropriate after I asked for that to cease. I was like, let's not get the wrong idea.
It's coming. It's
Okay.
coming. It's gonna be there.
He got blocked so damn
You gonna
fast.
have to block me. Well, block me, bitch.
Then how we gonna coordinate these?
Oh, well, you need to figure that shit out.
That trip, the trip was wholesome. Yeah, his hole was full of something. All
My
right.
trip was thank you. My trip was very wholesome. I'm a child of God.
It was wholesome because there was some
I am a
hoeing going
child
on
of the
down there.
king. Okay. Take me to the king. I don't have much to bring. I am a friend of God. He calls me friend. Ronald, why are all y'all on his side? Why what is going on here? Everybody on his side, nobody wants to talk about me.
I
It's
mean,
fuck El Teddy. El Teddy is
well,
just some
El Teddy,
fucking
you did
whore.
get fucked in Colombia.
Don't worry about what the fuck I did in Colombia. It
You're
was
not
my
denying
birthday.
it. We know it happened, and it's fine because you're an adult. What two consenting adults or more do in the privacy of a
You
bedroom
have
is
to
none of my
throw
business.
or more, do. You have to throw that in there.
I mean, you
Don't
can
tell me shit, Harold. Don't tell me shit. Tell me a fuck thing.
not too much on my Harold.
Fuck you and Harold. I mean, somebody else did that, not me.
Not too much on the Bama boys. You need to stop because you're doing too much.
Mm,
That
you
that
know,
see that's that goddamn Miami coming out where
it is.
you just forgetting that shit is not the center of the universe. Your
What?
ass from Florida, okay?
I'm
Your ass
not.
from Florida
I'm not.
and is,
Not.
and that's
No.
okay. We still love you.
I'm from Miami.
You had no choice over where you was born. We still
I
love
was born in Miami, not Florida. So what are we talking
you.
about
Just
here?
like Harold and I can't choose if we was born in that
What
goddamn
what am I arguing? What are
Maryland
we
state.
arguing about? I'm not from Florida. I'm from Miami. There's no argument there.
Miami is the city. What county is
And
Miami in?
Miami is in the country of Miami-Dade.
No, it's not a country.
It is.
He probably was on because I know my Colombian OnlyFans is about 4 of them that I be following. They was in the same place that El Tater was in. I wanted to meet up with them. They're a little too twinkish for him though. He prefers them a little thin and super well endowed, emaciated, if you will, with the third leg.
Mm-hmm.
Very much
Do
size queen.
am. They like all my cakes in the back.
I'm sure they do. They love black man down there shit.
And they love that I can be verse.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Mm.
That's not in my job description. You want me to do 2
Mm.
jobs and only get paid for one? Oh, that doesn't make sense to me. Verse people are weird. So are sides.
We got to get out here. Listen, I got shit to do. We got to get out here.
You have people to do. Just say you want to get a pupils, you want to shortchange the pupils. They paying tuition to be over here and shit, and you ain't trying to get them the classes that they signed up for. That's fine.
Tracy, you really gonna be on his side? We go back, Tracy. We done sat down and broke bread and had drinks together, Tracy. But yet you're taking his side, Tracy.
We've also had
That's what we're doing,
we've also had
right?
drinks together. We've also had drinks together.
I'm talking to
We,
Tracy
we
right
were
now,
on
okay?
live together.
I'm talking about Tracy right now.
Ooh.
I done sat and had drinks with Tracy. I done had drinks with you too, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to have drinks with Harold, but Harold said he ain't had time for me. So I said, okay.
Yeah, well, you ain't had no time for El Teddy.
He didn't.
I don't believe that's something Harold would say. I just think that
I
something.
tried, but
I think
Harold said,
something
I ain't got that type of
unexpected
time.
came up, and Harold just didn't have the bandwidth. I just don't think that
Harold
Harold
said he
moved
had
like
that
that.
type of time.
Harold don't move like that. Son, it was a miscommunication. My Harold don't move like that. My
Mm,
Harold don't move like that.
mm.
What I mean, Tracy, what you see with me is what you get. I don't know why El Teddy think I got to lie on him. Like I know he was having him a ball down there. Okay, it was an
I stayed to
anything
myself.
goes
I
kind
ain't
of
do
stuff.
nothing. I was pure as can be.
And he's a hoe. That's what he is, Ronald. I'm monogamous, and he's a hoe. Final answer.
You too, Ronald? That's what we're doing?
Oh, Harold said you had an ailment
No,
when you were scheduled to show up to his neck of the woods.
I did have COVID.
So why you lying on my Harold?
No, but Harold, no, I'm thinking about that other time I was driving through and I called Harold and Harold said, oh, I ain't have time. I ain't talking about that time, Harold. I'm talking about the other time.
You always got to go at my Harold. Harold don't be doing nothing to nobody. Everybody love Harold. And you just gotta hate on him. At
I
every
love Harold.
turn.
Harold is a whole ass hall monitor. I love Harold. He be lying on me though.
Everybody ain't gonna tell the same lie on you now. That's what my grandma said.
They do.
You know who you sounding like right now? They got them
Everybody,
nominee for Secretary of Defense. This is a
everybody
coordinated
saying the
smear
same thing.
campaign. Baby, it's the
A
truth. And it hurt.
coordinated smear campaign.
Baby, it's the truth and it hurt. You better look in that
Mhm.
mirror.
I ain't did nothing. I ain't did nothing to nobody.
Then you tell me something, don't do nothing.
And I gotta get all this hate. And I ain't did nothing.
Baby, this woe is me shit only works for white women, okay? In America. It's not working for you.
See what I'm saying?
Them gay black tears moves nobody. Next.
I'm not looking for sympathy at all.
Baby, you playing it up.
I'm not looking for sympathy. There's enough men out here that give me what I need.
And a slew of them in Colombia did.
You seem very touched by Colombia.
I mean, I have not had my prostate plunged in Colombia like you have, but I'm sure you had a great time.
You know nothing of what has happened to this good prostate, okay?
I know. All I know is the soles of them feet was touching the ceiling, but who am I to judge?
Nobody, not to
I
judge
mean,
me.
look, if you want to get folded
Who are
like
you
a
to judge
pretzel,
me?
if you want to get folded like a pretzel, that's on you. I support you.
Who are you to judge me?
I mean, I'm just saying I'm monogamous.
Because I'm a nice person and I always am nice, I'm going to choose to take the high road. I'm gonna be on my Michelle Obama.
Well, let me say it to you like this. Nice is not a synonym for promiscuous.
What I mean
And
is,
two,
I'm not gonna say all the things that I can say because I take the high road. When you bastards go low, I go high so I can shove my meat up in you.
bitch, ain't you from Miami? The fuck y'all know about some goddamn high road?
When you go low, I take the high road so I
When
can shove
when
my
they
meat
go
up in you.
low, you go to hell.
Not
Okay?
me.
Cause y'all already
I've
below sea
never
level
gone to hell
down
on
there.
nobody. You don't have a single case where I've gone to hell on anybody. I always take the high road.
The playlist, the Book of Darkness and the Mess. Is that the
That's
name of
the
that
high
playlist?
road.
That ain't no goddamn high road.
That is not the hell that I can do the backstroke in. Now in person, I do the backstroke in the lake of fire and hell. But the book of darkness is me taking the high road.
You wouldn't know the high road if it bit you in the ass. That's what I'm telling you. The Book of Darkness, that whole playlist. Because I watched the shit today, as a matter of fact, because I needed a good laugh because somebody pissed me off at work. So shout out to El Teddy and the Book of Darkness playlist. But that's not the high road. I don't feature the high road.
I take the high road.
When they go low,
I go high so I can plunge my meat into them.
When they go low, I go lower. I'm going to exhume some goddamn skeletons of your ancestors, and we're going to talk about their ass too.
Aaliyah did say stroking for me, stroking for me.
And that's what Poppy was doing for him in Colombia.
That's what Aaliyah said. She said work the middle, change positions.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. He talking about stuff. She taking the damn high road. Michelle said, I'm not showing up.
Michelle did say she ain't coming. Michelle said, fuck this high road. Bitch, I ain't coming. Fuck you. And fuck all you bitches.
But you know what you know how it's coded to me though? You really don't like your coworkers, and then they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this happy hour after work. I ain't going to that shit.
Right. Let me know how that shit work out. Fuck that shit.
Fuck y'all.
Woo!
I'm going to fuck home.
Michelle said, "Oh, she said you want me to sit for that bullshit, and it's gonna be cold and rainy, bitch. I ain't messing up my motherfucking braids. I ain't messing up my hair for you, bitches. I'll stay the fuck home. Barack, you got it. You got to go. I ain't got to go a fuck place. I'll be at home.
You want me to show up to some shit for somebody I don't like and I don't get paid?
I'll be several time zones away. I'll be in Hawaii, several time zones away. What do you want from me?
We don't get paid? Then you don't see me. No. My presence requires coinage. I'm sorry. I just can't. I just can't show up for free. We're not gonna be fake for free.
And I know she cussed Barack out when he got home after Jimmy Carter's funeral and said, the fuck you over there laughing with that punk bitch for? The fuck you doing?
I know everybody black saw it.
Michelle,
everybody black was like
LeVon, Robinson, Obama, where Barack or Barry, as she calls him, opened that goddamn door and said, hey, baby. No, don't fucking hey, baby, me. The fuck you laughing with that hoe for? That puss ass bitch. And all on camera. I keep with that hoe over there. I know that's what the fuck she said. Oh, I know her. She black. She a Robinson.
No, not she black.
She black.
I'm sorry,
Robinson.
That's just remind me of the TikTok discourse around race.
Michelle, LeVon, Robinson, Obama waited to that he dropped them bags. Hey boo, hey boo me, bitch. You over there laughing with that hoe at the fucking funeral. The fuck is funny? Ain't shit funny about that bitch.
She also did show up to that because she didn't want to sit beside his stinking ass because they said them goddamn Depends don't be holding in that smell.
I wanted her to be there and do him like Mike Pence's wife did his ass. He went over there. That bitch, she looked at him like, the fuck you looking at, bitch, if you don't get the fuck away from me. I was here for all parts of Miss Pence.
And it's like people like it's crazy because my whole thing is you try to get me killed. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to go along with your fake elected. You lost. You know what I'm saying? You lost. It's cool. You still rich. You'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Might get hit with a little, you know what I'm saying? A little felony. You'll be all right.
I promise you, Barack got cussed out. I bet you he won't be laughing with him down to the motherfucking inauguration.
But you know what? I don't think she could get too mad because, you know, when they be at the other events, her and goddamn
George W. Bush. She do be getting it in with George W. Hey boo, hey girl. Mm-hmm. They do be chumming it up. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying.
I still cannot get over whoever that photographer was at President Carter's funeral. Everybody else that was there was in that, but the Trumps. Just conveniently that angle they got cut out. I love it. I said, this is the kind of thing that I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
This is my kind of carrying on.
Yep. masterful level.
A masterclass.
Nasty work. Nasty work.
Just like you in that Book of Darkness. Nasty work.
Listen, the Book of Darkness is me taking the high road.
No, the fuck it's not. And I don't want to bring up a particular person because this ain't the time for it because we talking about the politics of it all. But behind stage, yeah, I'm gonna say their name.
Who?
I'm gonna
I
say
want to know now.
you was dragging.
Who? I want to know now.
You don't need to know now. You know back to
Who is that? No, you
You know-
can't tease the people like that and not give the people what they want.
We can talk about it in the members only.
Put the link in members only.
We can talk
On
about
the
it.
YouTube, there's a YouTube stuff channel, I think. Yeah, there's a YouTube stuff on the members only Discord. Shout out to the members.
I got my Discord open right now.
Hold on, I know there's a YouTube only.
YouTube shit.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Is that what you want me to post this?
Yeah, put it in the YouTube shit. We about to go down to the members only Discord, y'all, and start clowning over there. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Bap says she knows. Look at Bap. Bap saying, look at Bap. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't.
I just put it in. I just put it in the members only.
Oh
I'm
God.
the ass. I don't give a fuck.
I am so nice with the Book of Darkness. As I always hold back in the Book of Darkness. No, and I'm saying I'm being for real. Now I'm being real. I do say some shit, but I always say, don't do that. In my mind, I'm always thinking about you don't go that far. Don't say this. You got to put the link to the video down in the
You can hold on. I mentioned the second video. They'll both be posted, and you will wait.
I'm not doing this with y'all. I refuse to do this with y'all. We about to get out of here. Okay. We going down to the members only Discord and about to go ham for the night. Okay. Anyway.
Since you just think I'm a liar, like I don't watch the content. I be having my motherfucking receipts. I'm a scholar.
Sir, would you like to say anything to the people before we go on down to the members only Discord?
I'm so happy to be back doing this. Hopefully they don't give us too much ammunition. I mean, y'all gonna see us less, but you'll be able to live throughout this Twilight Zone ass administration. If you're not in the Discord, you need to be in the Discord. It's gonna be jumping the Discord, like, because I be on Discord anyway at work, so get in the Discord.
Shout out to the NSFW section of the Discord.
It hasn't been given. It has not.
I haven't really gone in on it yet. I'm trying to ease the people into that section, but we about to get it popping.
What do you know about easing anything? You don't even ease it into you. You just hop on it.
Oh, I always ease it in. I have walls over here. You can't just hop up. You can't just fall up in here. We have real walls.
You can't slip and fall. Look, you're not gonna slip and fall up in this.
Right. Girl, that ain't happening. That is not. You gonna be real upset. You come over here thinking you about to just roll up in it. Nah, bro. It ain't like that over here. No, buddy.
Oh
You
my
about
God.
to be real mad. You about to go home and be real mad. Mm-mm.
Come on, Miss
Anyway,
Don't hop in
yeah.
the Discord.
Tell the
Don't hop in
people.
the Discord.
Tell the people what you got to say before we get out of here.
Look, remember when everybody come to you about their problems, yo, they on their own.
You on your own.
We are at brunch. We are resting. We not organizing shit. We not marching no goddamn well. We just gonna put our
Ain't
hands
they
down.
supposed to have a march
what we
on
need to do.
Saturday? Ain't the white women's is supposed to have a march on Saturday? Girl, it's Martin Luther King weekend. We'll have that type of time. Sorry.
Look, my birthday is on Monday. I'm gonna be drunk starting Friday. It's above me now.
I think we're having Silly Saturday this Saturday. Are we celebrating your birthday on Silly Saturday?
Well, we can. What you mean? You think we celebrate? The fuck? We is. What time is Silly Saturday though?
It depends on when production is done. My problem is it takes 6 hours for production of Silly Saturday.
We can talk behind the scenes. Just let me know what time it is because I do have a couple of things planned on good old Saturday.
Listen, y'all.
Spend some
No
time with
matter if the country is red or blue, we will always be black. And that's all we got for you. Until next time, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. We out of here and we love y'all. See y'all on the members only Discord. Bye, y'all.